Hello, readers and writers, and welcome to lesson 22 of your ELA School Away from School. I am Mr. Driver, and I'll be your virtual teacher for today's daily lesson. Let's revisit our guiding questions. What journey does food take before it gets to your plate? How do we make decisions about what we eat? Remember, we'll continue addressing these questions through all of our work together. All right, time to get some materials for today's daily lesson. You're going to need your copy of the text, An Organic On-Campus Farm Connects Kids to Agriculture and Growing Food, your copy of lesson number 22, the lesson number 22 note catcher, as well as a pencil. Go ahead and pause the video here and make sure you have your materials for today. Let's take a look at our learning targets for today's work. I can find the gist of a specific section from the text. I can cite text-based evidence that provides the strongest support for my analysis of a text. Let's make sure we keep these learning targets in mind during all of our work together. First, you'll be rereading An Organic On-Campus Farm Connects Kids to Agriculture and Growing Food. For today's lesson, we will focus on the second half of the reading. So with a family member, caregiver, or a friend, reread the sections titled The Process of Growing Food and Reconnecting Kids to Farming. As you read along, consider replaying and listening to the text read aloud from lesson number 20. Pause the video here while you return to your reading. Now that we've had a chance to look at the text again, I want you to think about a couple of things. Remember, the gist is your initial thinking about what the text is mostly about. What is the gist of each section? The process of growing food and reconnecting kids to farming. Why is it important to expose children to agriculture? Pause the video here as you think of each of these questions. Now it's time to have a discussion again with your family member, caregiver, or a friend. Remember, the gist is what the text is mostly about. So what is the gist? What makes you say that? Why is it important to expose children to agriculture? Go ahead and pause the video here as you discuss these questions. Please take out your lesson 22 note catcher. Using the lesson 22 note catcher, write the gist of the sections, the process of growing food, and reconnecting kids to farming. Choose the strongest evidence that best supports why it's important to expose children to agriculture. So you want to look again, of course, in the article, in those sections, and you want to see any part that talks about why it's best, of course, to support, why it's best to expose children to agriculture. Once you feel like you've found a sentence or two that kind of says that, look for a sentence or two after that that kind of explains why that is. So like explaining the reason for that. So that'll be your evidence, and that you'll write that directly on the lines that says support with evidence. So go ahead and pause the video here while you complete this work. Time to wrap up today's lesson. Let's think about how you do with our learning targets. I can find the gist of a specific section from the text, and I can cite text-based evidence that provides the strongest support for my analysis of the text. As a closing, share your writing with someone and tell them why you chose to write what you did. Also, remember to read a book today for 20 minutes. You can also read with a family member, caregiver, or a friend. For fluency practice today, please read or reread the article from Today Out Loud, or have an adult read the text to you while you follow along. Then practice reading the text at least 2 times on your own. Thanks again for learning with me. Tomorrow is lesson number 23. We will use all of our learning from this week and answer text-dependent questions for our weekly quiz. Have a great rest of your day.